Now if you look at his body of work, the guy used dozens of different cameras, some more often than others. He used crop sensors, full frames, micro four thirds, Canons, Sonys, Panasonics. Still, there are commonalities that remain the same across the board and show up almost all the time. On the side of style, that is the super wide angle look, the framing and pointing, the zoom-ins, the time-lapses and hyperlapses. On the side of tech, that is good video autofocus performance, quality audio, decent low light performance, the tilt swivel selfie screen, and more. So let's check out how you can vlog like the legend with the GoPro Hero 7. Most important, in my humble opinion, is video autofocus performance. There's nothing I dread more than an out-of-focus image. For me the list goes autofocus on top, followed by too shaky, with bad audio in third place. Fortunately, with the Hero 7 you don't have to worry about autofocus at all, because there is none. If you keep your distance, in this case round about 12 inches, you and everything else will always be in focus. Which is not cool if you like close-up shots, but let me tell you from experience, not having to worry about autofocus is so relaxing. Quality audio is as important as quality video. Neistat, with his A-cam setups at least, always uses an external directional shock-mounted and wind-protected microphone. What you're listening to right now are the internal microphones of the GoPro Hero 7, and their quality has improved at least a little over each iteration, so you are going to get usable results if the GoPro is not inside a cage and if the conditions you are shooting in are favorable towards audio recording. However, wind distortion remains a problem. And with the kinds of vlogs out there today and the quality they bring, most likely you do want better audio. Quick overview of my GoPro budget vlogging setup. This is it. The GoPro is inside this cage. I took its door off on the side so I could plug the audio adapter right in, which itself is connected to the cage via 3M dual lock low profile version. This right here is the audio adapter cable that connects the Saramonic SRX-M1 mini microphone to the adapter, hence the GoPro. For wind protection I use a micro dead cat. This combination of a cable clamp and a thumb screw replaced the original screw that came with the cage and made the setup possible. This way you're getting external wind protected audio while keeping the form factor small. If you're interested in how to build this exactly, check out the video I've linked in the top right hand corner. Now a really cool technique Neistat uses to enhance the narrative quality of his vlogs is framing himself in a shot and then pointing at things and or people in the background while introducing them to the vlog. With a tilt swivel flip out screen that most of his setups have, that's super easy to do. You frame, you point, you talk, you're done. With a GoPro, since it doesn't have a selfie screen, it's a little more complicated. You could step behind the camera and just point, or you could use the GoPro app on your smartphone, frame and point simultaneously, turn back to the camera and then go. Which is not the same thing and nowhere near as convenient, so we need a better solution. And this is it. 1/4 inch to 1/4 inch screw adapter, metal washer number 1, metal washer number 2, rubber washer number 1. It should look just like this. Mini ball head with a 1/4 inch mount on the bottom. And now this piece screws into the cage right there. The washer is making sure the screw doesn't damage the GoPro. As a grip, we're using the Ulanzi ST02S. Pretty much the best grip out there in my opinion. Then we're going to use one of the mounts on the side of the grip to attach it to the mini ball head. Smartphone goes right here, lock it in place, and there you go. A fully articulating tilt swivel screen. So this back here, all the way up on that hill, this is called the Berghäusle, meaning little house on the hill. And on top of that little thing is where this video is going to continue. Now Neistat's preferred visual aesthetic for vlogging is the super wide angle, and it makes perfect sense. Vlogging is you and the world, the story of the dynamics that shape that relationship. And a great visual representation of that, the best in my opinion, is accomplished by the super wide angle, because it quite simply shows a lot of the world around you with yourself right in the center. And as you all know, the GoPro is wide. It can even be super wide, which is a little bit too much for me. In any case, regarding visual aesthetics, it is super adept to vlogging. And should you not dig the spherical distortion the regular viewing angle comes with, linear mode is going to cost you some viewing angle and some resolution. You're going to drop from 4K to 2.7K, but it's also going to more closely resemble the feel you're getting from a regular camera, while still being decently wide for vlogging when used with a selfie stick. By the way, here's the perfect one. In classic Neistat fashion, we're using a Gorilla Pod. Not the Focus though, the biggest one, but the SLR. It's a smaller version, but works exactly the same way. On top, Not the Joby ball head, but the Highlights or Coolio Hada E2. Simply the best budget ball head I have ever spent my money on. Machined extremely precisely, very heavy duty because of the mechanism it uses to fix the ball in place. It squeezes it from every side instead of just pinching it in from one, the way most ball heads work. Both combined give you the perfect selfie stick for this setup. Okay, so how do I get off this hill? Well, hyperlapses and time-lapses are prominently featured in Neistat's blogs to structure the content and storytell the passing of time. Conveniently enough, the GoPro has both these modes built in, ready to go. So I think that's what I'll use. The GoPro really doesn't shine in low light situations, although that would be pretty awesome because the more light the better for such a tiny sensor. All else being equal, it really can't compete with full frame or crop sensor cameras. So let's continue this review under better circumstances. Let's talk image stabilization. Neistat says,
hold the camera steady.
And right he is. Although I don't think the vlog type style of video shooting heavily relies on smooth shots, it sure is a mighty nice thing to have good stabilization. With the 7, GoPro gave us the Hypersmooth. Considering it's built into a camera as tiny as the GoPro, it really delivers great results. You're looking at them right now and have been looking at them throughout the video. If you want to know how the Hypersmooth compares to a gimbal, check out the video that I've linked in the top right hand corner. But for now, let's finish this video. Last but not least, the zoom-ins. Whenever Neistat wants to get an important point across, this is what he does. The world gets blinded out and all you're focused on is him and the message he wants to share with you. There's not really a way to do this on the GoPro because unlike Neistat's setups, the GoPro doesn't have a zoom lens. There's 2 options though. Number 1, linear mode. Will get you closer and can indicate a different vibe of storytelling if you make it a point to always use it whenever you want to get a message across that is important to you. Number 2, shoot 4K, export to 1080p and make use of the 50% crop. It's not the same thing, it's not as cool, it's a post-production solution, but it's as close as you're gonna get. You could jump, or you could go smooth, or you can even fake it a little. In any case, whenever you sacrifice resolution, make sure the lighting is as good as it can be. So can you vlog like Casey Neistat using a GoPro Hero 7? Definitely. Much less quality in low light situations though, and a post-production solution for the zoom-ins. But apart from that, vlogging with the GoPro is a great experience. And especially the 7 really packs some kick. 4K 60p, 120 frames at 2.7K and 240 frames at full HD resolution. No autofocus trouble, super wide angle aesthetic, hyperlapse built-in, time-lapse built-in, hypersmooth stabilization built-in, voice command, and the list goes on. And using some clever hacks, you can even add external wind-protected audio, a tilt-swivel screen, extra battery life, and even a tiny light should you want to. If that sounded interesting, definitely check out the Tank Edition. And on top of that, with all the mounts out there for the GoPro, this camera can get you shots no other camera will. So, if you liked the video, if you found it helpful, please make sure to leave a thumbs up, it's greatly appreciated. Any kind of comment or feedback is welcome and I'll try to answer as quickly as possible. All the tech that I've used in this video is linked in the description below. As always, thank you so much for your time, thank you for watching and hopefully see you again soon.